Hello, today we are going to be doing the makeup for Jack's mother, and we are starting with the same base that was in the base video. I am just going to start with these kind of warmer brown tones, and let's get started. So I'm going to go in, and similar to Jack, I'm going to be focusing on this kind of rounder, warmer contour. I do want hers to be a little squarer though, just to kind of give that worn look. And so I am just going in and making sure that it is even on both sides. Like I said, we're focusing on a little more of that warm, round shape. But I want to make sure that it still kind of has that shadowed out look because she is a tired mother. And so I'm just blending that down to make sure that it is nice and soft on the bottom and there's no harsh lines. And you can just see I'm adding a little more of that cooler pigment just to make sure it is a nice clean contour and that it doesn't kind of disappear in the rest of the face. Alrighty, and then just making sure that that is all nice and blended out and very soft, and then I'm gonna take a little bit of that and put it on my temples. Like I said, I want it to look a little worn, so just putting it on the temples really kind of shadows that part of the face and adds to that kind of like sunken in look. Alrighty, now that we've got that all softened out, I'm going to take that warm brown tone and I am just going to shadow out the eyes. I want this to all look really nice and smooth, so nothing harsh on the eye itself, just for this original base color. And again, I'm just matching it on both eyes. It is just this kind of warm toned brown. And now I'm also going to blend that shadow down underneath my eye so it looks all nice and connected. And we're also going to add a little bit of that warm shadow just to the under eye in general to kind of give it that tired out look. And I just want to make sure that is really nice and softened out. This is more about the color than the shape. We just want it to be a little darker underneath the eyes. And then I am just blending the edges of the top of my eyelid to the bottom of my eyelid so it looks nice and connected. And you can see how that kind of sinks in my eyes a little bit. So now that those browns look all nice and blended, I'm going to go in with this orangish pink and I'm going to do the blush. This warm tone is going to add that kind of focus without it being like very pale and glam. It's going to look a little more natural. And so I am just starting on the apples of my cheeks and blending it upward because I want the pigment to be focused to the center of my face rather than the high points of my face. This is going to give that little bit of rounder look instead of sharpening it. And now just dipping back into that warm brown, I am just going to warm up the nose a little bit because I don't want it to look too pale and I want to bring some color back in, and I also want to round out the tip of the nose just again to bring that focus very forward and very center. Now I'm going in with this really thin brush, and I'm going to be taking this kind of cool toned brown, and I'm going to be using it to define the forehead wrinkles. So the best way to do this is to raise your eyebrows and then just kind of follow where the skin naturally folds. And then you will define those. These we won't want to blend out too much because we want it to be visible from the stage. Obviously, if you were doing this for like in-person makeup or photos, then you would want to blend it out a little more. But for on the stage, just puff it out a little bit and then kind of leave as is. And like I said, you're just following your natural shape there. I am also going to squint my eyes and add these little false crow's feet or define them. And I just want to make it look very defined and have it follow kind of the natural shape of my eye. And now I am just going in with that same pigment and I am adding some lines underneath the eyes. This is going to add to the little bit of aging and also add that kind of tired, worn out look. That's really important for this look because we want it to be very visible from the stage and we want her to look like she deals with, a little boy all the time, and that's a lot of work. So now, using a little bit darker of a brown, I am just going to go in right on my lash line and I'm going to define my eyes. This will make it so they don't wash out in the stage light and just so they have that nice sharp definition to them. I'm also going to smoke out the edge just to give a little false wing. I don't want it to be too bold, but I do want the implication there. And now I'm going to take this kind of packed fluffy brush and I'm just going to smoke out that line a little bit because I don't want it to be too harsh, but I want it to look like she did a little wing. And I'm just going to blend it out so it looks nice and smoked out. And then I'm just going to go in with this fine brush and I'm just going to add a little more aging around the mouth and kind of around the smile lines. And I'm just going to buff them out a little bit with a beauty blender. I don't want these to be too harsh, but I want them still to be visible from stage. And now I'm going to go in with this pale pink and I'm just going to put that on the natural shape of my lips. I'm not doing any lip contouring or lining here. I'm just putting on that pale pink. And once that is all even, we have got Jack's mom. Thank you.